In asking for the court to harshly punish Ackerman, the state argued that the accused allegedly lured, groomed and sold young boys, some of whom were underage, to be raped. The state led 20 witnesses. 10 of them were alleged victims. One of them has since disclosed being HIV positive.
These messages. These children were sourced by the accused. Videos were made which were ultimately forwarded to Mr. Kennedy. And then there's discussions around money. There's a message where specifically the state referred to during cross-examination, where there's discussions around the money. I want to read it to court just now. Okay, on page 1341. How much do you think for L? He was asking. Mr. Kennedy responds, 500 rand with a question mark. The accused responds, he was hoping for 900 rand, but it's always up to you. Mr. Kennedy responds, I will make it 700. The accused responds, I agree. Thanks. So once the children had sent these videos, there were these behind the scenes happening between the accused and Mr. Kennedy around the video, the amount that it could be worth, and then ultimately Mr. Kennedy would then release the funds to pay. Now, throughout all these charges and the evidence that has been put before court, the state is asking that in the back of the court's mind, we must always remember the vulnerabilities of these children. Because that is an aspect that the accused pounced on, that he used, that gave him leverage over these children.
The state says Ackerman even lied about the photos and videos on his phone, which were classified as pornographic.
The accused then brought a version before this court that his phone was openly used by numerous masseurs at his home. And this aspect was put to some of the children who testified, and they vehemently rejected this as being false. Further, my lord, if one is to consider the accused's own evidence, especially in relation to the charges at the swim school, he indicates how the clients for his parlor were contacting him personally on his cell phone to book sessions with his masseurs. And this aspect in his own evidence contradicts his own version of the cell phone being freely used by anyone and left at the parlor for one and all to use. The state further submits that the version of the accused is not reasonably possibly true, and further that as the lawful owner or holder of this device, this Huawei, plus the fact that these child pornographic images, videos and pictures were in plain view, the owner, the accused in this instance, has a full responsibility for his device and everything hence found on it.
More than 250 porn videos and images were found on his phone, and on his laptop, 386.
You have this situation where the accused in one, tries to portray the image that is the gentle lamb, and then you find that is nothing other than a devious predator. So, the inconsistency in his evidence
alone,
yes,
it's overwhelming.
I'm not even looking at anything else. I'm looking at his version. You know what that is, and he's the person, and he has the temerity to, in fact, tell one of the mothers what a lousy parent they were. These children's lives are ruined
because of the mother.
Because the parents were just hopeless parents. So the accused, when you look at his evidence, firstly, it's not consistent. Secondly,
it's unreasonable.
It changes from, broad daylight into the darkness of the night.
But the defense argued that the versions of some of the witnesses did not corroborate and asked the court to take this into account.
My lord, my submission is that in many instances, WS was not a reliable witness. And here we have other witnesses in the sense of WL that was supposed to corroborate him, it demonstrates why corroboration is important for a single witness. WS said that the accused is a person who provided them with special underpants to wear, while WL said no, that was the Herman person. WS says that the accused is the one who tried each of them separately in the massages. WL says no, that was, my lord, I'm at paragraph, I apologize, unless it's 64, but 65 of my heads. He says that accused trained each of them separately, while WL says no, they were all in the room with Herman, and Herman did the training. He was touching them inappropriately all the time.
Judge Mohammed says that Nasim Ackerman was not truthful about his no-sex policy at the massage parlor, and even Ackerman's lawyer agreed.
When the accused testified initially that I only taught them how to massage and to do, and the happy ending, that was it. And when they went to clients, they were not supposed to have sex. That evidence of his is in fact a fabrication, because what is written in these messages, he subsequently admitted he did say.
Yeah, at least in some instances.
No, well, it doesn't matter in how many instances, whether you say I think 10 times or whether you say 4 times. It went against his basic mantra of no sex, golden rule, no sex.
My lord, he did explain that he intended to mean penetration,
but even on the penetration, he was cross-examined, and even on that he was found out.
Judgment will be handed down on April the 19th. Criselda Lewis, SABC News at the High Court in Johannesburg.